Here we go. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Delve and Dash, right here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful Dungeon Master. Before we begin tonight, I want to throw out a couple quick shout-outs to some of our sponsors, Twitch, Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, and our good friends over at Little Dragon Corp. Make sure... No, it's definitely not Tyranny of Michael, Matthew. You wait till tomorrow night. Wait your turn. Yeah, Little Dragon Corp, thank you guys so much for helping us out. They sell some really cool RPG dice and other RPG gear. So make sure you type in exclamation point Little Dragon in the chat, just like Matthew has done already. And get yourself hooked up with some of that awesome gear that they have in their storefront with that quick link. You can use the coupon code BONUS for 10% off of your order in the chat just for hanging out with us. Last time that we were together, our group continued on their caravan to head on track, watching this caravan closely for where exactly the Cult of the Dragon seems to be taking the stolen merchandise that they seem to accumulate from other villages and towns. They were jumped by some ettercaps and spiders, made their way on, found a man buried in the road with Oathbreaker on his head. Franklin, transforming into a mole, dug him up, and they found out that he was a Harper spy. That being said, I believe you guys woke up the next morning, and Dusk was just letting this guy know. His name was, I think it was
Carlin.
Carlin, that is it. I've got it on my notes here. Carlin Amethel. Basically, Dusk had told him they were going to give him some rations, hook him up with a little bit of gear, and send him on his way because they did not trust having him around as a suspicious extra person seemed to be tailing the Cult of the Dragon. I don't think you guys sent him off just yet, though. I think you were preparing to send him off. So, you guys wake up the next morning, and you're gathered around the breakfast with simple breakfast foods around the fire.
I eat my swamp lettuce.
Eat your swamp lettuce? Nice.
And cast mending.
On what?
Whatever's broken.
Or, you find there's another, somebody's doing one of the, just like a human teamsters over there doing some maintenance on one of the wagon wheels, and you just come over, and while he's pounding on it, you're just like, mending. It just, this magical energy glows around the area that he's working on and just fixes it. Oh, that saved me a lot of time. And thank you.
You're welcome.
He stands up, wipes off his hands on a rag. I guess I'll go get some breakfast. And he just walks off.
I will ask Carlin, do you need anything other than water and rations for your journey? We don't have much to offer, but I will try and give you what I can.
They took all my weapons. Do you guys have any? Wouldn't mind parting with something that I can use to defend myself? I mean, I am going to be traveling in some pretty rough areas.
Is there a big stick on the ground?
There probably is, just off the side of the road.
I hand that to him.
Go get a stick and hand it to him.
It's what Franklin uses.
He grabs the stick, he looks back up at you, then looks back down at the stick. I don't think this is exactly what I was talking about. Do you have any...
I cast Shillelagh on it.
It wraps up in all these vines and leaves and stuff. How long is that gonna last?
About a minute.
Well,
Is there any?
I won't even be out of sight.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
That you fancy?
Oh, he wants a weapon?
Oh, he's asking for equipment. Is there anything in particular that you use?
I got you. Listen, I am an expert when it comes to weaponry. Okay. Listen. I'm gonna reach into my pack and I'm gonna grab one of those sets of silverware I stole the very first episode I was playing Zen.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hand him the wrapped up silverware.
Okay, he takes it. Like, it's about the size of a dagger. So when you hand it to him, he's like, wait a minute. Is this a napkin?
Not just any napkin. That's enchanted.
It's an enchanted napkin.
With an enchanted fork, knife, and spoon.
He just looks distraught. Looks over towards Tottenham. So, and Tottenham just walks away. Doesn't have anything to spare. He just like walks off. I'm not involved in this. Okay, he unwraps and there's a very nice set of silverware inside. A dagger or a short sword. Even I'd settle for a crossbow.
What about a hand axe?
I'll take it.
I'll take 2 hand axes that I have attached to my waist and hand them both to him.
That's better. He takes the silverware, wraps it up in the napkin, and puts it in his backpack and puts it in a little satchel.
Whoa, hold on. Give it back. If you're not going to use it and you're going to disrespect it, give it back.
I thought this was a gift,
No.
This enchanted silverware.
Give it back. Nope.
He just grabs a napkin and just slaps it into your hand.
I'll make sure I have all of the pieces of silverware.
It seems you open it up, you inspect it, they're all there.
Okay.
I'm not trying to rob you.
I'm not saying you are. It's just you disrespected my gift at first and then decided you were going to keep it. That's not how this works.
You were ungrateful.
Exactly.
And Franklin walks away.
This group's really good at like doing stuff and walking away. I like it.
Well, I think that's about all that we can offer you, unfortunately. So.
Listen. If you figure out what's going on, pass the information on as soon as you can.
Not
That is our plan. That's what we're getting
I
paid
thought
for.
Franklin walked away.
I have a really good perception. It's a 17 passive. Oh, no, that's insight. It's a 14 passive.
But that is our plan. That is what we're getting paid for. We will do that.
Fine. I'll carry on. And he grabs a couple last bites of breakfast foods and a couple simple grapes and other fruits and in his pouch, puts a couple in his pouch and starts heading off back the trail the way he came. Really, the opposite direction in which you guys are headed.
Okay.
Until he eventually just kind of rounds a bend and drifts out of sight.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on him until I see that I can't see him anymore. So.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Cool. As he's walking away, I don't really know how far it can go. Hold on, one sec.
Oh, and on his way out, he dropped the big stick that Franklin gave him, kind of off to the side of the road.
It's a club or a quarterstaff. Awful.
Oh.
My familiar is going to ride his back till he's out of range of me.
Okay, is your
Like
familiar
a whole 100 feet.
like not caring that he notices this?
No, he's being sneaky.
Oh, he's gonna be
sneaky little boy.
Okay, can you make a stealth check with your familiar for us?
I can certainly try.
Okay.
That's a 18 base roll. I don't really know what.
18? That's good enough.
Yeah, we haven't made a character sheet for my
Oh, I'm sorry.
flying
Oh yeah, that's
for
right.
my sugar glider yet.
Yeah, we gotta get a character sheet built up for that. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's gonna beat his passive perception anyway. So yeah, your familiar finds a place to kind of like tuck under the, like he's wearing this, like shoulder bag, this little pouch that he's got, a leather pouch that he got from somebody, from some other caravan. Maybe Sam or Dad gave it to him. And your sugar guy kind of nestles up on top of that pouch. Doesn't seem to be noticed.
Yeah, he's just gonna make sure he's actually leaving and not trying to get out of our eyesight and then like, disappear somewhere.
Yeah. After how long would your familiar stay on him until he was convinced?
He can only communicate with me telepathically until 100 feet.
Okay, yeah, so it'd be well after 100 feet before this bend goes and he's out of sight.
Yeah. So he's just
he can sit on there for a while, but he won't be able to communicate with you.
Right, yeah, he's just gonna do that until he's like around the bend, and he like maybe like I'm gonna communicate with him like 100 feet after the bend if he doesn't turn around to like sneak back after us again.
Yeah, the way I envision it, the bend's probably at least a football field away. So you're talking 300 yards. Or yeah,
That's
100
cool.
yards, 300 feet,
I think he can go that far. I don't really know. It just says he can't communicate with me.
I'm pretty sure he can go wherever. He doesn't have to stay within a radius of you.
Yeah, so he's just gonna go.
Yeah, he's just gonna go. Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes for a while. Hear from him for a while. Everybody's packing up. Caravan's getting ready. People are cleaning up from breakfast.
If the guy turns around, he's gonna come back to me as fast as possible.
If he turns around to,
It's like come back.
what if he doesn't turn around and keeps on going back home?
Then after like 100 feet around the bend, he's gonna just come back.
All right, your sugar glider returns to you after you guys get packed up, and can he communicate telepathically with you once he's in range?
Yes.
Basically, he tells you he kept on going down the road, like he never veered off,
Okay.
and then he just basically flies back to you, let you know
All
that
right.
information, glides back to you. Just fills you in that he's seemed to go around the bend and is continuing on. So the caravan packs up. People load up some of their camping equipment back up onto their wagons and get the horses ready. And the caravan continues on and begins to move closer and closer to Daggerford. And to be honest, several days pass. Better part of a week passes. Nothing interesting seems to happen or occur. The actors and actresses that you've picked up in your caravan have seemed to be pretty quiet and haven't been very they haven't been showboating anymore since the whole Ettercap experience and you guys coming to their rescue. They had tried to talk to you guys a little bit here and there to try to smooth things over, but it's been just small talk here and there, just making your way upon the tradeway here.
Whenever one of them would sit down and try talking to Franklin, Franklin stands up and walks away.
Okay, gotcha. Franklin just gives him the cold left, the cold shoulder, the cold shell, as he stands up.
Like not even Jibbity would look at them.
Jimmy.
One of the nights that we're just camped out, if they're all around him, since you guys aren't helpful with guarding the thing, could you at least provide some entertainment? Maybe put on a little show for us?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. A show by these people, I'd love to watch it.
I mean, it might be funny.
And the one guy who was kind of like playing the fighter captain of the squad is like, we're trying to get rehearsed for this new play that's upcoming. I don't think we're quite there yet. We have been going over some lines in the wagon as we go by. I don't know. He looks really nervous as you put him on the spot.
Franklin just simply says, "So you have no real skills."
He looks at Franklin and looks at all of you. Fine. Lynn, let's do this. And they go up and they stand in front of the fire. Seems like a couple other people like gather around. Let's see here. And he goes out and he finds a big stick. Come one, come all. Enjoy the wonderful playwright of the adventurers of Nemas. And they start like, and he starts going into this whole like spiel about this backstory of these heroes, and they start like this scene where they're like, oh, and then the dragon came out of the mountain.
Hold on. Are we writing this? Are you writing this, or is this like a script you already got before?
We got this script. This is the one that we were practicing. You're currently interrupting our flow.
Yeah, Zen, you gotta let them. You don't do that. It's kind of rude. You gotta.
You're an audience at a theater.
Do you want input, or do you want us to tell you that your acting is horrible and that we never want to see your show again?
You haven't even given me the chance.
Okay, but based off of the small performance that I've seen so far, I have some constructive criticism.
That guy that was playing the wizard has his fake beard back on. He has all his thing, and he comes out from behind one of the wagons. He's like, "Oh, but alas, I pull out my wand. I cast some kind of magic." And he reaches down.
Another issue.
He reaches down into a pocket. He's like, "Wait a second. Oh, that's right." Then he starts going, pew, 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 making these weird sound effects. Because Tonum stole all
Franklin's
his
gonna cast Druidcraft and just have little sparkles come out of his fingers.
He gets startled. He starts to scream, and he runs back behind one of the wagons.
I see this was a mistake to ask you all to do this. I am sorry.
It was wonderful. I think it's going great.
You hear a lot of like some even from the cultist caravan have like gathered around, and when they saw that guy like shriek like terribly high pitched shriek and run behind the wagon, they started chuckling a little bit, like pointing and laughing and stuff. And it seems like it's going over well, but more as a comedy than what they're trying to portray.
Are they trying to make it sound like a drama?
Yeah, they're trying to be very dramatic and make this like a really serious thing, but everybody's like dying out laughing, thinking it's great. It's like, these are great comedians.
Just maybe you all should think about going into a more comedic show instead of drama. I think that would more suit your style.
It would definitely be
if I'm
different.
being honest here.
It would work. I agree. I think it's a great plan.
Oh, now, Lynn, listen to them now. Now they are theater critics.
I mean, I've seen a lot of plays in my time, but sure.
I also have read a lot of books and seen a lot of plays as well.
He's like, perhaps we should try this again another night.
Maybe we should. Like I said, maybe try and play into the comedy aspect a little bit more.
You have to realize you're playing like complete cliches, right? So if you're gonna be a complete cliche, make it funny. People get bored by adventurers fighting a dragon. Make it a bunch of stupid adventurers like you already are, trying to pretend to fight a dragon that would honestly probably kill you.
As soon as you say dragon, that little gnome woman who was playing the rogue of the group rolls out from a crowd of people and is like holding these two daggers. It's like, I heard dragon. That was my cue.
I cast Druidcraft and make a bunch of flowers show up around her.
Oh, how pretty. She stops and just looks around.
See, that's great. See, you lean into the more comedy. That was great.
What if you make it very noticeable that this is a play? I think that's a really good take that isn't done a lot, where you break the fourth wall and make it known that it's not real.
Make a persuasion check, Zin.
That's not good. 5.
The rogue Yarwin Yaren seems to like that idea. And then she's picking a few flowers that just grew up around her and like putting them in her hair. Lynn kind of doesn't seem like that's quite a good idea. You guys scared the wizard away. He's not even in this play right now. And and the man's like, you do realize that in Waterdeep, they give awards for actors who can perform on a level that is far beyond that of comedic expression. You see, I feel as if I can push myself even farther into maybe one day receiving one of those great rewards for epic dramatic performance.
I bet if I tried,
you.
I could be better than you, and I could actually get the role you're trying out for.
Now, this is mean. I don't mean this to mean any offense. I don't think that's going to happen at this point in time.
Me either, personally.
Well, I am still young. I still have time.
And dumb and broke.
You think you are a better actor than me? And he looks right at Zin.
Yes.
Okay. He disappears for a moment and comes back with this stack of parchment paper like this. Sets it like right down in front of you. Here are my lines.
Perfect.
3 days time. I'll give you 3 days time. And I want you to lead the entertainment for one evening, my friend.
That's good enough for me.
We're gonna have
This is gonna be a cakewalk.
We're gonna have to do acting rolling initiative. Yes.
I will give Zen a pat on the back. You got this. I believe in you.
I know I got this. Man, you know I really, really hate caravans, so this gives me something to do in the meantime.
So now not only are you guarding 2 wagons, but you have to memorize a massive script for the next 3 days.
Hey, Michael, I cast Mending on his pride.
Whose? Mine?
No, the actor.
On Almar, yeah. Almar's pride. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Sweet. So, things kind of die down a little bit after this whole fiasco. People get a chance to go to sleep and wake up the next morning. You guys are probably only a few days, maybe 2, perhaps 3 days away from your first big stop, which is Daggerford. And then from there on, you'll be moving to Waterdeep. Daggerford is kind of like a place where you have a feeling like the caravan's going to stop and maybe probably get a nice bed at one of the local inns or taverns, and just probably have a day where you guys can kind of chill from just the hard travels so far. I mean, as far as things there hasn't been any like major occurrences other than those ettercaps that you guys have run into, and other than some of the other things that you guys have run into. It's just been mainly just the boredom of being on the road and just keeping everything moving, keeping everything going, keeping wagons fixed up, which with Franklin, that's no problem. He kind of helps keep the caravan moving with all his mending spells.
All day, every day.
About 2, I would say probably 3 days. I'd give it 3 days outside of Daggerford. You guys are rounding another one of those slow bends, and you can see several wagons ahead of you, probably about the 4th wagon in the caravan. Keep in mind, this is one of the cultist wagons. It seems to all of a sudden wobble to and fro, and then you watch as half of the wagon just slams to the ground, and a bunch of these boxes and barrels get spilled off the side of it. And you can see like panic up there above, as many of the who you feel are cultists are kind of, looks like they're moving with a little bit of a haste as they're trying to see exactly what's happening. It looks from your vantage point as if the wheel or the axle of this thing had broken and basically spilled a bunch of their cargo out onto the side of the road.
And about how far ahead of them Are they ahead of us?
Probably about 5 or 6 wagons ahead of you.
So about 60 feet
Mm,
ish.
ish, maybe between 60 and 90 feet, somewhere in that range.
Okay. I'm just gonna look toward Dusk and I say, shoot me. And then I turn into a tiny spider
Okay.
and crawl onto one of his arrows.
Dusk, you have a spider sitting on the end of one of your arrows.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. I mean, if I shoot it towards the caravan, they're gonna think I'm attacking the caravan.
You could do the lob, fire it straight up in the air.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
See where it lands.
Is there any kind of like trees or anything off to the sides? Maybe that's closer.
Yeah.
Blame it on the actors.
Yeah. Blame it on the actors.
I will shoot the arrow towards one of the sides of the caravan,
Okay.
and I will Zen follow me, and I'll hand him the other bow.
Okay. Make a stealth check. Let's see how like nonchalantly you can fire an arrow near the caravan.
Basically, if they look over to me, I want to play it off that I was trying to teach Zen how to shoot a bow, and he shot wide, kind of thing. And
Okay, perfect. Okay, they'll call this deception then.
Oh God, okay. Stealth was way better.
What the heck? I'm so
That's
bad
a
at
19. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
So 20.
20?
Are we stealthing or are we deceiving?
No, that was a deception.
Dusk was trying to deceive.
Yeah.
So you guys, Dusk quickly pulls back. You can see this tiny spider's just got all 8 legs wrapped around this arrow. It's like, I imagine like some kind of epic little music is playing in the background by some little cartoon little trumpet or something like. As he's getting ready, and you fired off just the fur of the tiny spider just flapping through the wind as he's flying on his arrow. It goes into one of the nearby trees.
And I immediately just crawl around and start looking around all the boxes, see if any broke open so I can see what's there.
Okay, for about like 20 seconds, you're extremely dizzy from the vibration of the arrow hitting. As you're just jostled all around. But you make your way crawling down the tree, and you crawl over, and you can see that all these cultists are going around. It looks like a couple of these actually broke open, and they spilled out what looks like a bunch of fine jewelry. And there's some other things like let's see, and just other like beautiful candle holders that are made from silver and gold. It looks like a bunch of like ritzy, kind of like noble household items that have been wrapped up in looks like thick layers of parchment and other like padded material. Like even some of them are wrapped up in some wool and things like that to withstand the travel. But this looks like very rich looking stuff. A couple goblets with like gem inlays in them and stuff like that. And you look over, Franklin, and you see there are a couple other people, like a couple of the people from the caravan. They're trying to be polite or rushing over to like the area to try to like offer assistance. And they're heading over. What Dusk and Zin, what are you guys doing as this is taking place?
Well, I'll play it off and take the bow back from Zen. I think that's enough practice for the day. I'll go up and grab my arrow.
Oh, my shot was
try
so
and
bad.
like act like I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I'll walk.
What was I
Excuse me.
thinking?
Do you all need some assistance? Looks like one of your wheels have broken off.
Yes. I mean, what assistance can you offer?
I can help you gather up your material back up if you need some help with that. Or I'm not super strong or good with my hands to fix your wheel, but I can help you.
It looks like at first he looks a little bit hesitant, but then he looks down at the mess and stuff, and you can see a couple people are already starting to like put some of the like nails back into the wood of the crates to try to fix them or repair them, so you guys can get this. It looks like they're trying to go as quick as they can. Yeah, just grab those over there and just start rolling them back up into that parchment and wool there.
Okay.
That would be fine.
I will start doing that, and also trying to, look at all this stuff. That's also trying to get an eye on what all this stuff is.
Yeah, I'm also looking for anything suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
same.
You guys can make investigation checks as you're kind of digging around, looking around.
I'm staying by my wagon and making sure that nothing was using that as a distraction to attack us.
Okay, you can go ahead and make a perception check then, Zen.
I got a 20 total.
20 total.
13.
13. Okay.
13.
13. Zen, looking around, it's probably like just before dinner time, I would say, on this day. You don't really see anything around that would give you the indication that this is a distraction. Franklin, looking around in your tiny spider form, looking around, getting a close look at all this stuff, nothing seems to stand out as like different, but just the variety of objects here just looks like a massive collection of things. Nice things, like expensive things.
Does it seem like it's all from like the same collection? Like, is this could be for a museum kind of thing, or is it like all mix match kind of things?
Bunch of mixed match stuff.
Okay.
Like stuff that you don't see. It looks like, these were collected from many different areas, many different types of people. Just a lot
stuff
of
that wouldn't go together.
Is there a common theme among them? Like maybe something really small that's just kind of common that we can maybe notice?
Honestly, not really. Other than I guess the biggest common theme is it's a lot of just simple objects, like nice silverware, things you would just find in someone's. Things that you would find in any normal person's home. But these seem to be, it looks like if somebody took all the silverware in my silverware drawer and just picked up the 10 nicest sets and kept those, that's what you like. So
what you're saying is like perhaps maybe parts of like a dragon's hoard, maybe,
or stolen goods,
potentially.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll help clean up all this stuff. Now, I'll try and keep an eye out for Franklin, too, since I know he's around here somewhere, just in case he needs, to climb on me to get out.
Okay.
I will also try and keep an eye out for that, too.
As you guys are investigating, you also notice that a male halfling teamster from one of the other carts that you guys have had a little bit of experience with, you probably only know his first name. His name is Levias. He has a reputation for being curious about everything. You guys have noticed that he's asked you a few questions, and you guys just basically shrugged him off most of the journey. He's just one of those other NPCs on the trip. He seems to come along, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, look at this!" And he's like checking things out as he's wrapping them up, helping them. And a couple of the cultists seem to be giving him a strange look as he's like pointing out and closely inspecting the things as he's trying to wrap them up. And you hear one of them say, "Hey, just wrap it up and put it in the box, okay? Just do it." And then he's just like, oh, no problem. Not a problem, no. And he wraps it up, stuffs it back in. Also, eventually, Lai, the Dwarven man that you guys have been helping out, actually stumbles over a little bit. And he's like, "Holy moly!" And he just gets like, you almost see like the money symbols, like cha-ching, cha-ching in his eyes. "This stuff must be worth a fortune." And then one of the cultists like looks up and gives him a dirty look. It's like, "Yeah, we're just trying to pack it up, get the wheel repaired, and we'll be on our way. We'll be at Daggerford in not too long. Let's just make it quick." And it seems like a lot of these other cultists have gathered, and they're doing the same thing. It's only going to take them probably a few minutes to get all this stuff wrapped up.
Okay, I will unspider.
Right there? Right there with everybody?
I don't care. It's not like I was thinking it's suspicious.
Franklin seems almost
And
just
then-
coalesce out just behind Dusk and just seems to
I
just
will
come around the corner.
act like I will try and act like I'm scared. Like, oh God, where'd you come? You know.
And one of the cultists
And
does
then
the
I
same
will
thing. He's like,
cast-
oh, where did he come from?
Mending on their wheel.
Okay. This one looks like it's going to take a few minutes. Like it's going to take a couple castings. It looks like
That's fine. It's a minute per cast.
Okay, it's been broken in a couple different places. It got really messed up. And you look back and it looks like it just hit a really big rock and it just annihilated the wooden wheel of the wagon. Eventually, after a few minutes of them all working together, the cultists kind of give you a half-hearted thank you for everybody who kind of helped. And,
I will say you're welcome in Draconic.
Okay. One of them kind of just gives you a quizzical look.
I wave at him.
Okay. He doesn't wave back. He just turns around, finishes loading one of the barrels back onto the wagon.
Does it seem like he understood me?
Make an insight check.
Also, while I was helping get all the stuff up, no one was stealing anything, correct? Like no one of the
23.
people that were helping.
Make a perception check.
23?
23. Good roll. You get the impression that he did understand you.
Cool.
16.
He was doing a pretty good job of hiding it because he did roll really well, but you outrolled him. What'd you say?
I got a 16.
16? Levias pocketed a few things.
I figured. Okay.
He rolled a natural 1.
Okay, is Tiamat, is she well known as the Dragon Queen?
Would
you say?
Because you've been around for a long time, you've probably heard of Tiamat. You probably don't know the extensive details about her.
Can I make a religion check
You can, yeah.
to see? Okay. So, 19.
19. You would know that she's associated with the chromatic dragons. And that most of the chromatic dragons, that's their form of worship. Some of the older chromatic dragons, the ancient ones, don't like to... They like to perceive themselves as gods.
Of course, they're dragons.
They're dragons. So the older they get, the more they kind of fall away from the worship of Tiamat. But if Tiamat was ever to just appear back on the plane, it might change the story. Of course, you know. But you probably wouldn't know a whole lot more than that, other than that this definitely is a god who has evil intentions. It's probably the best I can give you for what you guys have.
Okay.
So if as Levias tries to start walking away,
Okay.
very loudly, I will make it well known so they can see me. I'll pull out my short sword and just hold it right next to his throat and say, "I think you have some things in your pockets that don't belong to you."
He goes,
Ooh, he's
Give them back.
stealing. Ooh, he's stealing.
you hear him just go, well, oh, how did this get here? And he reaches down into a
Yeah,
pouch.
how did that get
And he
there?
pulls out some kind of, it looks like a golden engraved candlestick holder with a few gem inlays in it. Oh, this must have just when we were picking up things. I had a bunch in my hands and it fell right in there. Oh my goodness, I
Yeah,
apologize.
right in that
Wide
small
applause.
pocket. Right. I'm gonna take it back from him.
Okay, you take it back.
And just
he looks
Kind
disappointed.
of like I'll hit him in the back with the flat end of my sword.
Ouch!
And kind of like make him like run away.
Yeah,
and then I'll
he's
take
he's
thing
scared
back
to-
up to him.
Easy, not
Franklin's
so
gonna
pushy.
grab him
Franklin grabs him
and
after he's
gives him a proper pat down. And
Okay.
Franklin's a hermit. He doesn't care if he has to fondle somebody's to make sure he took nothing else.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
He's so old he don't care anymore. 18.
18. doesn't seem to have anything else. It seems like this was the only item that he was trying to run off with. You can see he's probably had some experience with this before, and maybe one item, might be worth enough, and he could get away with it,
Then I send him on his way.
Okay.
I will take this candlestick back up to one of the individuals. Here you go. I think this is belongs to your cart.
Oh, yes. Thank you. We appreciate that. And he takes it, he looks at it, and opens one of the crates and carefully tucks it back into one of the crates and seals it back shut.
No problem. We have to look out for each other.
I bet you wish you hired us now.
This is just like basically one of the standard cultists that's kind of just been riding on one of these wagons. He's just, we've got enough guards. We're set.
I will ask for what is your name?
My name
I'll
is.
reach out for his a handshake also.
He reaches out. He reluctantly reaches out to shake your hand. It's like a very. I should probably do this. He just got one of the pieces of our treasure back, so he takes it.
Is this the guy that understood me?
It's the same guy, yeah.
Okay.
He said, "My name's Meph."
Beth. Well, I'm Dusk. It was nice meeting you. Hopefully our continued travels will be a lot safer. Just make sure we keep an eye out for large rocks on the road.
Yeah, that one was on me. He kind of looks a little distraught as he's recounting what just happened, and and he just kind of turns around and walks away from you. Looks like he's.
I'm just gonna look at him and just say, if there's anything else you need, you can rely on me. And I say all that in Draconic.
Okay, so Dust, do you understand Draconic?
I do not.
So you just hear a bunch of, it's this strange language that's coming out of your turtle friend right now, and the guy just turns, looks over his shoulder, and he's got this look of just, and then he just turns back around and just continues to walk.
Well, as me and Franklin, I'll turn around and kind of put my arm on his, or my hand on the back of his shell, and kind of whisper to him, I like the idea, but might be a little forward speaking. Because I'm assuming that's Draconic. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm assuming it is. Might be a little forward speaking that to them. But,
I will.
I like your enthusiasm.
I tried to make it seem like they could rely on me and my allies for assistance.
Yes, that was my idea with turning in the thief also.
And then I cast Mending on his arrow that hit the tree.
Thank you for that. Put it back in my quiver.
Very nice. You guys make your way back to Zin, hanging out, and it seems like the caravan begins to move once again. You guys get to a place where you can make camp. Is there anything that you guys wanted to do with this evening's camp, or we can skip ahead to the next morning, next day of travel? It's up to you.
Skip ahead, because I'm only casting Mending.
All right.
Am I supposed to do my thing today?
What's that?
The acting thing?
Oh, that is tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is tonight. Yes. Yeah. So eventually, Olmar gets gathered around a fire. It seems like a lot of people have gathered around a much larger fire for this evening. It seems like the caravan is starting to come together here after these many weeks of travel. Except for the cultists seem to be just on the outskirts. They never seem to be fully enthralled with everything that's going on. But Olmar's like, it is time, everyone, gather around the fire. We will get to see who is we'll call it the supreme actor of this caravan. And then he kind of gestures over to you, Zin. Zin, have you prepared your script?
Not at all. But I'm ready to go.
Okay. So basically, he starts to give the rundown, and he basically dives into the dragon attack of the city of. I guess it's the dragon. The great dragon comes down upon Waterdeep, even though technically in this world it's not possible because of the dragon magic that Waterdeep has against it. Most of you would probably know that, but. History, a story about a dragon that comes down and just starts laying waste to Waterdeep, and this band of adventurers comes to save the day in the midst, and he starts to set the scene, and then he's like, cue the fighter.
Oh my gosh, it's a dragon.
Lynn jumps in. Oh, whatever were we going to do? We must stand tall. We must stand firm and defend this fair city.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
When Jamie said his thing, I cast Call Lightning, and I'm just gonna boom lightning in the distance when he said, "Oh boy, a dragon."
Lightning crashes somewhere in the distance. You can see sparks fly from the edge of the forest as lightning has. You see the audience just go really quickly as this happens. And then Lynn seems to look at you. Line.
All right, guys, don't worry. I can take care of this myself. You guys just get out of here. Just leave.
More lightning crashes. The wizard jumps in very quickly. He's like, did somebody call for arcane assistance?
Actually, I've been studying how to do all of your jobs so I can do them by myself. So you can just leave. And I cast mirror image and make a bunch of me. I'll take care of the dragon myself.
So all of a sudden there's 4 Zins standing there right next to each other. Lynn looks over to the wizard. I keep forgetting his name. I apologize. Lynn looks over at Goswin. That was his name. Lynn looks over at Goswin. This wasn't in the script. He's not going by the script. And Almar starts narrating a little bit more. But then more adventurers begin to come out of the woodwork and join the fray. And he turns over. Jarwin, get in there. He's making it all up.
Oh no, don't worry, citizen, I'll save you. And I cast the minute meteors. And I just start shooting them up into the sky and making them explode.
And I'm gonna shoot lightning and
some of the lightning bolts hit the meteors as they explode and create this dramatic explosion of fire and lightning above. It seems like the crowd's just ooh, ah, and it seems like the whole caravan is just enthralled by what's going on. Go ahead and make a performance check with advantage because Franklin is helping you.
Oh God.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Oh
so
God.
What's going on? And then you see Almar. His facial expressions just change. Fine. And then you guys Dusk. You're sitting close enough to Almar that you can kind of see his lips and hear under his breath. Fine. He makes it up. I'll make it up. He's like, and then out of the blue, not only is there 1 dragon, but there are 5 dragons. Storming the city of Waterdeep, laying waste to the outskirts of the city walls. The people scream in terror. Oh, save us! Save us,
and
please!
then the big brave adventurer that was protecting the whole city by himself because he's better than the group, does a 5-time power word kill, giving up his life to kill all of the dragons, and I will cast knock on my own chest.
Okay.
To make the really loud explosion noise. And I'll fall down onto the ground, all 4 of me, will fall down onto the ground.
I will have lightning strike directly behind him
Okay.
at the same time. I love that this spell lasts for 10 minutes.
And then you can see this disheartening look come upon Almar's face, and he seems to be holding like I perceive it as more like, you know how the head marcher of a marching band has that big like stick with the big ball on it. It goes like the ba, 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 you know, like he has like one of those like as he's narrating, like leading the way, and that thing just like falls out of his hand onto the ground. He's like,
my mage hand catches it.
it lands in your mage hand, and he's just like
floats over to me on the ground.
he looks like he gets frustrated. Lynn's over there just going like this, like this isn't how this is supposed to go. And like the wizard, he just after a certain time he got really scared at everything that was happening. He's just gone. So Almar's sitting there and he just goes, and so the brave hero took his own life to destroy the dragons. Yep, that's how the story ends.
I'll start clapping.
And like an
I also
uproar
start
of
clapping.
applause just reams out, and you can see
I'm going
Almar.
to cast Druidcraft because I can make a bunch of like illusionary fae, and they're all also going to start clapping.
Okay, so a bunch of like illusionary fae creatures just start to appear around as well. Some of the caravans are like they pause their clapping just a moment as they realize there's all these other things like around, and then they bravo, and then people start throwing like flowers and random things towards the center as you begin to stand up, and Almar, you just see him like, fine, and he just walks off.
I cast a lightning bolt right in front of him as he's walking away.
And then he darts off behind another wagon.
You don't want your script back?
Keep it.
All right.
I got more copies.
Oh, okay.
And he disappears for the rest of the night. You don't see him again.
I'm so weak. I had advantage on that performance roll, and I rolled a nat 20 on the first one.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even roll the second one.
That was so good.
That was good. That was epicness. Yeah. So that goes well. That's a pretty eventful evening. You guys arise the next morning to see there is already a bit of commotion over breakfast. And it seems like there's a lot of like groups of people together, pausing, getting their materials ready to leave. As you guys think you're probably really close to Daggerford by now. It seems like
The commotion is just everybody getting ready. It's not like anything's happening.
It seems like something has happened. Something has gone wrong. That's
I'm gonna
such
go
your
investigate.
insight.
Yeah, I'm going to see what's going on then.
Okay, you
Yeah.
see, Samerdag, the person who hired you, is talking to Eli, and they have, one of his other, like, the human, like, teamster that was there, I think his name was Nolan, is there, like, talking to them, and they're just kind of hushed what they're talking as you come up, and you can hear them talking a little bit, and, yeah, I guess they said he just got sick in the night. I'm not sure what happened. He's dead? Are they sure? Cold as ice, stiff as a board, dead.
Who died? As I walk up and hear this.
Oh, Laya kind of looks at you and, Levias Longnose?
Really?
Yeah, he died in his sleep.
It's very strange. All right.
I'm gonna
where was that
find
at?
the body of this guy.
This guy, Levias. Yeah, you make your way over to a group of people who are surrounded around. Looks like a couple people are like kneeling down over, and they've got looks like a body that's covered up with a blanket.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the blanket off
Okay.
and then do a medical exam to see what killed him.
Okay. Make a medicine check.
I will assist him because I also
Natural.
wanted to do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So you have advantage because Dust.
I
is there.
have a completely different plan that'll work, like, as they're doing this, but we can do theirs first and then...
Okay. Sure.
26.
Nice. 26.
It was almost a natural 20. See, now that we're not on roll 20,
Yeah. Yeah. Roll 20
I'm telling
cursed
you.
you.
until I need you to roll something good, that is, we have the sewers all over again.
As you're
Yeah.
doing your inspection, you're looking and yeah, he's definitely cold. Definitely been dead for what you would see probably like at least 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. And you're kind of giving him an inspection, and it seems like there's a slight greenish yellow hue to his flesh that's mixing with that blue kind of blood's not flowing through you anymore kind of look. Definitely been poisoned.
Can I tell what kind of poison?
Not really, but it must have been some kind of potent poison. It killed him you can tell it killed him relatively fast.
Okay, is there a knowledge skill that I can try? Like it was plant-based nature?
You can make a nature check, sure. I mean,
All right, no,
without,
that's a 7.
without having the actual like liquid, it would be really hard.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I got a
so-
7 anyway.
Yeah, 7 would be really hard to tell. You can definitely tell he was poisoned. Like this wasn't just he got sick and died or had a heart attack. I mean,
Mhm.
he ate or drank something. Definitely ingested it.
So, I'll just look at Dusk. He was poisoned.
Well, let's try and keep that to ourselves, though. We don't want to spook the rest of the people. I'm saying this in a hushed tone, so hopefully no one else can hear us.
Okay.
And then I'll just put the blanket back over him.
Yeah, you see a couple people come over and they talking about what to do with the body, but they say they're only a few days, maybe 2 days away from Daggerford, so they decide to wrap him up and take him to Daggerford, because that would probably be the best place to. They have temples in Daggerford that they could bury him in a cemetery there, or find something else that they could do with the body once they get there. But yeah, seems like really suspicious, and like the other people in the caravan just seem to think that he just passed in the night, natural causes. You two are the only ones that can really, between each other, have only determined what has happened.
Well, I'll drag Franklin back towards where our other 2 members are.
Okay.
I'm not
if
there.
Zen's there, I'll
Not
wait
there.
for Zen to get back.
Okay.
And then
Zin, what were you doing?
We are in the middle of the caravan, correct?
Yeah, about the middle, yeah.
So we've never actually clarified if the front was actually cultists. We're just assuming.
Yeah, you're just assuming, yeah. I mean, you've got a pretty...
Zen has the sneaking suspicion that it might not be the cultists. Is there a specific caravan that's been very quiet that we haven't really heard anything from? Like maybe farther in the back?
Most of these caravans haven't really, just for sake of, there's a lot of travel time here, so I would assume that your characters, even in those travel time, have had some kind of communication with some of the other caravans. It has been the first 5 that have always been, the cold shoulder, I don't really want to talk to anybody kind of caravans. So they are by far the most suspicious. The other ones behind, you got that guy that's just has basically a mobile brewery that he's carrying around. He's kind of following behind you guys. You got a guy that seems to be he's got a bunch of silks and things from Kalashite silks that he's trying to bring to Waterdeep to sell, and he thinks he's going to get super, super rich. But you've talked to him, and you know what he's got going on. It's not this is just stuff that's been happening while you guys have been traveling.
Okay.
We don't want to role play all that, or we'll be role playing a caravan
No.
for months and months and months.
Yeah, Zen just wants to take a walk around the perimeter, see if anybody's acting suspicious all of a sudden towards the back. If not, he'll just come back to the middle again.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh, that's pretty good. What is my perception bonus? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice. surprisingly, no. Doesn't seem to be
Okay.
any change. Seem to be, you know, that group still quiet, separated. I guess the biggest like suspicious thing is the cult caravans don't seem. What do you think? The cult caravans don't seem to be pulling any attention towards this, other than the fact that it's delaying their departure.
Okay. All right. I just feel like it's too obvious. Jamie has that gut feeling where it's too obvious.
Cool. Oh, sorry, kitty. Kicked my cat under the desk. I'm sorry, cat.
Also, no Mystic Hour tonight, apparently.
No Mystic Hour tonight. Okay.
She's not feeling well.
Not feeling well. Okay, we're sorry about that, Christy. Hope you feel better soon. Cool. So you guys, they wrap up the body, put it into one of the caravan carts, and you guys continue and move on. And within the 2 days that we're going to pass, you guys arrive in the outskirts of Daggerford. And you can see that you can start to see like farmland come into view as you're moving along the caravan. And that farmland seems to get progressively more cultivated, as finally you see across the river a large stone wall that has several round watchtowers that seem to be inlaid within the wall. And you can see there's an open gate to the city, and the caravan is moving directly towards that gate and moves in to the city of Daggerford. It seems like the caravan arrived probably just before lunch, and the general consensus with this caravan is they're going to basically give the horses a good, you know, full day's rest here, let them stable up a little bit, and move out the next day towards Waterdeep. So basically, you guys are given a little bit of a leave from your duties of guarding the caravan, and you're free to roam about Daggerford for the next day and perhaps stay in one of the nicer inns here and get yourself a nice evening's rest.
Have we been being paid as we go?
No, he goes and pays you the money that he needs to pay you from those rest of those days. You guys, I think you guys already add that gold to your character?
I already added mine, yeah.
I added the gold. Wait, how much gold did we get? I don't think I added it.
I don't remember the exact number. I know I have 200 gold right now.
I only have 44, and that feels wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I would say probably go ahead and make it 200, because you probably should have around that amount.
Okay.
So if you guys don't have about that 200 mark, you probably should be there. I don't know I can't remember the exact amount either, and I don't have it in my notes.
We had it mathed out, but I forget what it was.
Yeah, we did math it out, but then I didn't write it down.
And then are we getting paid from the other guy too?
You are now 2 gold per day. I would say that you had about 2 weeks, so that's an additional 40 gold on top.
Okay.
Okay.
Once we stop, I'll ask. Did you want to continue our arrangement of? Are you staying here, or are you continuing on this journey with this caravan to I forget the individual's name
Samardag?
The one, yes.
Oh, we are continuing to Waterdeep. Absolutely. The skies are always bluer in Waterdeep.
Well, we can definitely continue same rate, of course.
Absolutely.
No
I'm
there.
so glad.
Perfect.
I'm so glad I have all of you with me.
All right, sounds good. Well,
enjoy some time off.
We will indeed do that.
What about the dwarf guy? Because he said he was going to start paying us too.
Yeah,
that is him.
Yeah,
okay.
No, the Samardag was just like the first guy that you got hired onto. The dwarf Lai, he's willing to do the same. So if you're willing to keep,
yeah, that's who I meant. I was talking to.
Yeah, he's willing to keep that going. He's worried that he's not going to find. I mean, he could probably find a few people in Daggerford to take over that position, but it seems like he's seen what you guys can do and is satisfied, and gonna keep paying you.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So you guys are here in Daggerford, and you're gonna have a little bit of free time, and I think we'll probably wait till Ani can join us for this next part. So we're gonna call that the end of our episode for the evening, as we had an epic acting encounter tonight that came out of the blue. That was not in my notes.
You gotta love it when that happens.
That was cool. You guys got to see one of the cultist caravans up close, and some of the things in the crates and boxes that are stored up, and a suspicious murder or poisoning has occurred on the caravan. So we will see what happens next time with this crew on Delve and Dash here, and see what other interesting people they might come across or meet on this journey. Until next time, folks. Oh, before I go, thank you guys so much for being so active in chat tonight. We had a bunch of people hanging out with us, so thank you guys so much for chilling with us. And,
Yes.
But until next time, don't forget to add that proficiency bonus, folks. We'll see you soon. See you next week, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.